Also on the front page this morning, Asante Hene supports Gamanche Education Fund. The story makes the front page now for the Ghanaian Times. Unapproved advertisement, FDA slaps 39 media houses with 975,000 Ghana cedis in fine. And then Dr. Baumia needs time to name running mate. Usu Ejiman is advising NPP.
I thought he was announcing it this week.
Well, Usu Ejiman is speaking that you give him time. So.
The Daily Graphic, purge toxic political space. Apenyomakin urges media. NHI settles 300 million cedi claims. And government secures pact to suspend bilateral loan payment until 2026. And on the back page of the Daily Graphic, Ghana EU Commission road projects in Upper West region, and modern biomedical waste incinerator installed for Noguchi.
The New Finder says this morning, 5 SNIT hotels cash trapped, and they never paid dividends despite some 233.8 million Ghana cedis in investment. Also on the front page, we're told Ghana and Official Creditor Committee agree debt relief terms. Inflation, as you were saying yesterday, the figures have been released, and we are told inflation has dropped to 23.1% in May.
That's year-on-year inflation. Monthly inflation has increased the highest in 10 months.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I see.
Because the thing we were discussing yesterday about food price increase, inflation, there are two types.
Year-on-year.
The one that has come down is because of what is called base effect.
Okay.
So the inflation actually is going up.
Oh, I see.
Don't be deceived.
So, find out.
No, everybody, the headline is correct.
I understand, but
I'm just putting it's a fine point.
I understand, yes.
Explain it. The way it's calculated. Don't start rejoicing.
Yes, you use the other one, not this one. IEM retrace call for independent fiscal council.
The Daily Guide says NDC kicks against free SHS bill. Gamanche leads Clean Accra campaign. The Otumfo says you are respectful and humble, and is telling Baumia this. And show business model, DPP dares NAM1.
The Chronicle, Alan Cash vows to transform the North with heavy investments in agriculture. Also on the front page this morning, Baumia to Otumfo, my government will focus on solar and railways. And then why SNIT wants to sell La Palm and Labadi hotels.
Okay, if you go to the Anchor newspaper, minority not against free SHS bill. That's coming in from Dr. Clement Apak. CSOs threaten demo over locked up drugs at port, but ministry insists only mosquito nets are in containers. Central Region NDC spits venom, says it won't be intimidated ahead of December poll. And over 30 SHS students hospitalized after eating wachi.
This story was on Citi yesterday. Quite serious.
Yes. Then the Anchor's biggest story: unfair dismissal, victimization hit BCM.
Let me take you to the New Independent newspaper. Coco board seeks support. Farmers save over 300,000 hectares of cocoa farms. Also admit your shortfalls and offer pragmatic solutions. So Asante Hene is telling Baumia that, hey, say that, Charlie, you got it wrong here and there, and then provide a way forward. Minority issues 24-hour ultimatum to government over medical commodities at Temaport. This matter keeps coming back, and I don't understand.
Maybe also, you know what they should do? They should take all of us to the container. They should open it live on TV so we all see what is inside. Because this idea that somebody says mosquito net, somebody says it's medicine.
But does it even matter?
Yeah, because
we need to take it out and use it.
Yeah, but you see, because if you don't know what is inside too, that means we are all just talking around the issue.
So
the people should open the thing. Let's take our camera inside, and then we all tell the world what's there.
Oh, Charlie, we are just
everything is politics now.
Charlie. Daybreak newspaper: political power has not changed you, says Otumfo to Baumia. Okay. Now want to either walk free or open defense on July 10. And Coco board saves 300,000 hectares in cocoa farms.
And the business analyst says this morning, 2022-2023 fiscal year, Coco board made 2 billion Ghana cedis in profit. That's according to the CEO. Also, we use loans to save the industry. Coco board CEO to critics. And some other stories here on the front page, including one that says Ghana loses 1.4 billion Ghana cedis annually from illicit Oh, dollars, okay. From illicit financial flows.
All right.
And finally, from me, the BNFT debt relief deal paves way for critical infrastructure investment. That is on page 3. On the inflation, on the economy, inflation eases to 23.1% in May amid lingering risks. And they have graphs stating the year-on-year and month-on-month overall inflation between May last year and May this year. And finally, mineral revenue grows 4.3% in 2020.
Let me give you a few headlines online. Facebook, YouTube, online trading companies must be taxed. This is Deputy Minister of Finance. He also said no new taxes will be put in the mid-year budget. Meanwhile, NIA workers suspend strike ahead of crucial negotiations. The CEO is also saying they will adequately address their concerns. Amenfi East MPP parliamentary candidate granted bail. You know he was arrested.
Yes.
And then restoring Ghana's economy requires bold fiscal adjustments. This is the IEA speaking. And as we read, over 30 students hospitalized over suspected food poisoning at Ejumako Afransi Technical Institute after eating wache. It's a very serious matter. My journal line, we can't be complacent in dealing with an MPP that is obsessed with power. Fifi Kwete. He also says, Baumia and MPP copying our campaign strategy with People's Manifesto. In other stories, no student will be left out of the one student, one tablet initiative, Baumia. And then Nigeria's president says economic reforms will continue despite economic hardships. Then Baumia says, I have passed as vice president, promote me. You know, sometimes when I see the videos of like I don't know whether they are deliberate memes or that's actually what he said. Like, there's one that shows him like they were playing some Stia song.
I know that. Guru song, La Paz Toyota.
And then he says, Mamufa Stia and Mami. So I think it's handless to check some of those things because sometimes it appears some way.
I don't even know, Charlie.
The dance steps are some way. But I think the message is clear. Give you the steer. You know, it's like the Calipo thing. Sometimes you can think something is you are teasing somebody, but I guess it becomes viral. So I don't know.
Charlie.
But the steer thing is not so. You don't like it.
You need much more serious
than the steer.
Prosecuting the campaign.
Now, our SHS students will get the tablets. This is another story coming in. And globally, Buenos Aires rocked by clashes over Millet reforms, and then a few other stories there. So let's get into the stories with Nathan. Give me the inflation analysis.
Yes. This is on page 2 of the BNFT, and it says Ghana's headline inflation continued its disinflationary path in May, easing to 23.1% from 25% in April, according to the Ghana Statistical Service. The 1.9 percentage point decline aligned with market expectations, though risks remain that could undermine further progress. The disaggregated data revealed food inflation was the driving force behind the overall easing, dropping to 22.6% from 26.8%, the lowest rate in 13 months. Conversely, non-food inflation ticked up slightly to 23.6% from 23.5% in
I'm trying to explain this thing to you that the drop of inflation is what is called a favorable base effect. Right? In fact, the drop was less than expected. They were hoping for a bigger drop. But the main point is that Ghana's monthly inflation, which is if you compare inflation today to inflation last month, to the previous month, has reached 3.2%. This is the highest since July 2023. Now, the reason this is important is that the year-on-year inflation measures the rate of price increase compared to what was happening last year. So what was happening in June 2023 compared to what's happening in June 2023 is what has led to the drop. 2024. So it's May 2023, May 2024 inflation. The rate of increase this year is 23% of that rate last year. But if you compare food prices or whatever price today to what last month, it's going up.
So why didn't the journalist tell us?
No. It's always the year-on-year that is reported. No, that's the truth.
But the reality of the Ghanaian month.
So what you do is, if you look at the Citi headline, they said annual inflation is lowest, but monthly inflation goes up.
Yeah, so that is the true picture.
But we're also journalists. I'm telling you.
No, that's the point I'm making. You see, there's a positive spin on it.
No, it's not a positive spin in the sense that if they stated that and didn't state the monthly.
No, you see, what matters now, what we were discussing yesterday was what? That prices are going up in the market. I'm just saying that
both are important. So if they had reported it and not mentioned the monthly one.
You see, but that gets lost because if I look at the headline, what I'm seeing, inflation has dropped.
It's because every time inflation is reported, You don't hear that is reported.
I don't think that's proper. I think we need to reflect the
Of course.
prevailing reality.
Of course.
That's the reason for news. News is
So
what
I'm here telling you that Ghana's monthly inflation has risen to a 10-month high.
Yes.
Accept it.
And
I accept that. Good boy.
BNFT also has it. And let me quote the BNFT.
It's there.
Despite the annual easing,
Yes.
month-on-month
It's
inflation surged to 3.2%,
That's what we want to
the
hear.
highest in 10 months.
Some people want to hear the other one.
No. That one is-
Why do you want to impose what you want to hear on them?
We are suffering it, not the people, the government people.
We are suffering, bro. Anyway, so Coco is saying what?
Yes, so we are told that they have made 2 billion Ghana cedis in profit. And the story on the business analyst front page says that Joseph Boahin Edu, Chief Executive Officer of Coco Board, has disclosed that his organization gathered or generated a substantial profit of over 2 billion Ghana cedis during the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Now, speaking on Accra-based Joy FM yesterday, Mr. Edu stated, quote and unquote, today the industry has survived and Coco Board today is healthy. And then it goes on to
Let
provide
me give you
details.
2 stories.
I just want to quickly mention that they also said that people who are criticizing Coco Board for taking too many loans should not really go there because they have used the loans to save the industry.
But the truth is that production has come down because of this Galamsey issue. And we are all suffering because Coco Board didn't produce enough. Now, 2 stories on taxes. No new taxes in media budget. Deputy Finance Minister Dr. Alex Ampabi has announced that the government will not impose any new taxes in the upcoming media budget. Stakeholders have voiced concern about the numerous taxes burdening Ghanaians' business and households. In an interview on Point of View, Dr. Ampabi said the government would not request a supplementary budget. The decision he mentioned was disclosed by the sector minister, Dr. Amin Adam. But he also has something interesting. He says Facebook, YouTube, online trading companies make money in Ghana and must be taxed here.
Trading or trading?
Trading. So, like if you watch a video and they play an advert, that advert is revenue. But they don't pay tax on it. So he's saying that there's something called digital. He says that the what do you call it? The e-levy probably has to be redesigned to deal with these online trading companies who make revenue here but are not taxed, even though our laws say they must be taxed. The question why other national companies operating in Ghana are taxed, but social media platforms like YouTube and Facebook, which run numerous adverts, are not included in the Ghanaian tax system. According to him, these social media companies earn profits from the advertisement they display, and online trading companies also generate income from the sale of their products and services. And therefore he thinks that we need a digital service tax system to capture that.
Okay, quickly though, let me plug into the tax thing. If you go back to the business analyst, Ghana, we're told, is losing some $1.4 billion yearly from illicit financial inflows. That's according to the Tax Justice Network. If you're interested in that story, please get the business analyst.
If we go to the Daily Guide, show business model DPP airs NAM1. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Yvonne Atakra Obobisa, has challenged and battled CEO of defunct Men's Gold Ghana Limited, Nana Apia Mensah, aka NAM1, to open his defense and tell the court the model on which his businesses operated. And there's a quote, all we have to do at this stage is to establish a prima facie case, and we have established it through witnesses and documents we tendered in this trial. What is he afraid of? What is he running away from? He should open his defense and tell us what his business model is. End quote. Now, this was said by the DPP while closing her arguments in opposition to submission of no case filed on behalf of the accused.
Yeah, you have the port story, the issue about locked up medical supplies. The angle I have here is that the Ministry of Health has refuted claims that the locked up containers from the Global Fund are essential drugs for TB and HIV. This response comes after concerns raised by the health-focused civil society organizations regarding threats by the Global Fund to halt funding and donations to Ghana if the containers are not cleared from the port. Now, despite assessing from the CSOs that the drugs are decaying at the ports, the Health Ministry's Public Relations Officer, Isaac Ofeba, maintains that the containers actually hold mosquito nets and not TB drugs. I want to put on record that we have mosquito nets and we don't have anything like HIV or TB drugs locked up at the port.
Is malaria not a crisis in this country?
It is.
So how is that?
So even if it is gauze, they should clear
take it out. Somebody gave it to you for free. People need those things.
So they shouldn't change the argument.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
So, but that's the response they're giving, Nathan.
Yes, it's just the same story I was going to give you. The CSOs are threatening a demonstration over locked up drugs. The CSOs whose area of operations is HIV/AIDS, TB, malaria. I'm happy that there's a delay in getting the drugs out, and they will hit the streets on the 25th of June if the government continues to drag its feet in clearing the concerns.
Talking about drugs quickly, if you go to page 8 of the Ghanaian Times, unapproved advertisement, we're told that the FDA has slapped 39 media houses with over 900,000 Ghana cedis in fine. Now, the story quickly by Anita Nyako Yenchi says that the Food and Drug Authority has fined 39 media houses across the country a total of 975,000 Ghana cedis for unapproved advertisements since January to date. This year.
Let me give you this very troubling one. Over 30 students of a Juma Kung Francis Technical and Vocational Institute, not far from Sam Mens's hometown, in the Juma Kung Siam district of Central Region, have been hospitalized after allegedly consuming contaminated food. According to ChannelOne news sources, the students complained of stomach upset after consuming wache for lunch on Tuesday. Some of the students began vomiting while others lay helplessly in their dormitories after lunch. The attention of the school authorities was drawn to the issue, forcing some teachers of the school to rush the affected students to Jumaku Bar and Salvation Army Polyclinic for treatment. Upon hearing the news, parents rushed to the hospital and school to check on their children, and then some details are given. Physician assistant at the hospital says tests are being conducted to determine the root cause of the illness, but this was after they ate a meal of wachi. It's a serious situation that we should not. Now, there are some comments coming in on the traffic. Let me just read this one. There is serious trouble on the Kiseman Pillar 2 road. Some squatters who live along the storm drains have blocked the main road at the bridge section. And their reason is that they complained several times that the bridge should be reconstructed because their rooms are flooded when it rains. So they have blocked all vehicles from passing as a way of sending their grievance across.
Wow, that's serious.
This is a public road.
And
they block the road and blame the bridge for their rooms getting flooded. Meanwhile, they live close to the storm drain. It's a chaotic scene. This listener sent this message at 6:49 and says, I've been here since 5:15 a.m.
Yeah, that
no vehicle is able to pass. You know that area. I used to live in those corners. Yes. So this is Kiseman to Pillar 2.
Yeah, that's right. Completely unacceptable.
No vehicle is able to pass and motorists are frustrated this morning. And then they send a video. Please tell the police to get here ASAP. It's a chaotic scene.
Achimota Police is close by. So
this big road, you know, the road goes down and comes up.
Yeah, that's right. It's a serious matter.
Cause so much traffic.
Look, I mean, that particular road is prone to traffic anyway. But what they are doing creates a mess that
What kind of lawlessness is this? That because the thing gets flooded, you block all roads. Have you written a letter to anybody? Have you consulted your youth committee member? Where's the local governance people? Where is the local intelligence around all this? So local government, MC, what are they doing?
Indiscipline. What they are doing
the local leaders too, if the local leaders must know these things.
They must know, yeah.
Because are you telling me that they, by the way, do people even go for meetings? Do they even know whether the local assembly works? You see, when we do politics with these local government things, these are local issues that we should be dealing with. Charlie, people should wake up.
They tire. As for snitch matter, they are trying to tell us that the hotels.
So we are not making money. Is that how you should sell it to someone?
Yeah, that's what they are doing.
We are not children, please.